Hey, welcome back to the podcast, Evil Dungeon Master Universe Podcast. I'm your host, Evil Dungeon Master Vince, and welcome back to another podcast. It is Tuesday of the week, and it's time for another podcast. Going to reach into the email bag today because I've been getting a bunch of emails and some good feedback and stuff like that. Today, I got an email from Lady Laura saying, "Hey DM, I'm loving all the AD&D talk. You are filling the void gap for me with talking about AD&D. I miss Roll for Initiative a lot, so this really helps." Wow, I understand. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And unfortunately, RFI is gone and never will come back because they don't want to do it anymore. So, I understand. After 12 years of doing the same podcast over and over, you sometimes get a little bit tired and bored of it. So, who knows? Anyway, she continues with, "My request is, can you talk about the LuckStone? A magical item found in the Dungeon Master Guide on page 154. Can you go over it and tell us what you think? Thanks, Lady Laura." Sure. Let's head over to the Dungeon Master Guide and take a look at that. It is on page 154, like she said. Page 154. It is actually called the Stone of Good Luck, or the LuckStone in parentheses. This magical stone is typically a bit of a rough polish, agate, or similar mineral. Its possessor gains +1, or in parentheses, +5% where applicable, on all dice rolls involving factors such as saving, slipping, dodging, etc. Whenever a die or dice are rolled to find whether the character has an inverse happening befall or not. This luck does not affect 2-hit and damage rolls or spell failure dice. Additionally, the LuckStone gives the possessor a +1 -1 to 10% at the owner's option on rolls for determining of magical items or division of treasure. The most favorable result will always be gained with the Stone of Good Luck. It's an interesting item, 3,000 experience points for having this item. So it's it's a lot of experience for having this item for such a little amount to actually gain from it. Sure, you get a +1 on saves when it comes to factors of slipping, dodging. If it's a magical spell, you get a +1 on it versus magic or spells. Again, slipping and dodging, you can use it when doing like a attribute check as well, I would think, because slipping, falling, whatever else. The one part that I like, and I need to do this more often because I really don't do it in my games anymore. I used to do it a lot because this is how, when I first started playing D&D, the DM had us roll when it came to magical item picks in the group. And we would roll percentile dice. Everybody, say we found, like, I don't know, 6 magical items. Or it could be 1 magical item for all that matters. Everybody would roll, regardless if you wanted the item or not. We roll percentile. And the highest number wins, gets first pick out of all the items. Fair. Even if you don't want some of the items, you still have to pick. And then it goes around the table until everybody gets their item. So with this, the +1 or -1 to 10% could be used if you really don't want something in the pick. Which I know is not really all that fair, because if someone really doesn't want it, you still have to be in the pick or the pot, so to speak, so you can add or minus on it. So if you really want something in the pick, say you wanted that magical sword and there's another guy in the group that wants a magical sword, roll your percentile and then add your 10% to it. That way you get a better chance of getting that item than the other person. Now, one of the things that I was just thinking about while talking about this, and I thought it'd be kind of interesting, is you are also doing this from a character point of view. So, would you, as a lawful good character, or a very good character for that matter, add this 10% to a roll if you know it'll benefit another character or another, we'll say, person other than you? Now, would you do that in character? Would you succumb to the greed of this magical item for yourself as opposed to a person that would be better handled for it? Something to think about when thinking about picking magic items out. It's not something that you would probably go. It would probably go against your alignment thinking about it. Especially if you're a paladin, would you use that extra luck to get the item, even though it doesn't seem right, or are we thinking way too much into it here? That's just a kind of a question you have to deal with when you're the dungeon master, and a paladin is trying to get that +2 sword over a fighter who wants that +2 sword, who's not lawful good, and maybe the fighter will benefit from it more than he will. So maybe the factors are the paladin already has a good 2 hit. Maybe he already has a +1 sword, and this fighter doesn't have anything, and he doesn't have that great of a strength or 2 hit modifier. So it would benefit the fighter more than it would benefit the paladin. And is the paladin being greedy? Yeah. It's something that I just thought about that right now as I was reading this description. That I guess the moral dilemma behind using the LuckStone. Kind of interesting to think about it. I don't think I've ever given out this item or actually seen it in a campaign. And I'm trying to think if I've ever seen a LuckStone. I've seen stones that glow, stones that light up like that, or a stone of finding, things like that, but never the LuckStone that gives you like a bonus to your saving throw and it gives you a bonus to treasure picking. It's kind of interesting how they did that with the percentage, and then you roll percentage, everybody goes for a pick of a magical item in the treasure or division of treasure. I would think that when it says division of treasure, that you can use the LuckStone and give yourself 10% more when it comes to distribution. Because you got lucky, you got more treasure. I don't know how that would kind of work. I get the option for magical items and how you would do that for a roll off, but a division of treasure, I guess you can use the. But who would use 1%? Oh, I only want 1% more. No, no, I would use 10%, of course. Kind of interesting how that part would work. Again, I've never used this item and probably glanced over it many times, thinking it was just kind of a one of those items the players would go meh and not want to bother touching, and probably sell it off and not care about it. But I think I would add to the LuckStone a little bit, maybe. Since it is a LuckStone, I would probably at random throughout the campaign give a character, or should I say, give the player the option to re-roll a roll in a really crucial moment because the Stone of Good Luck. So if they missed a really bad save or a um, really bad, maybe a combat roll or something, and it would have, if they hit or something, or they would have made this save or whatever die roll, it would have tipped the favor of the entire thing. So I'd probably say, all of a sudden you get another chance to roll, or you get another chance to roll, or your character sees time reverse and you get another chance to do that action. I would do something like that because it's a good luck stone, just to add some more fun and flavor to it. So it actually makes the item really worth holding on to, even though it's not that powerful and most players would probably shrug it off. But having the Stone of Good Luck or the Luck Stone in your pocket and giving these little extra, I guess, meta things for it would make it more of an interesting item to me. And again, I'm the DM, so I can do whatever the hell I want. I can make the Luck Stone make you fly if I wanted to. A little absurd, but why not? All right, I'm going to head out. Hopefully that answered your question, Lady Laura. I appreciate the email. If you want to email, it's askthedm at evildm.com. Evildm.com is my website where you can sign up for everything happening. I got Hooks of Evil on there where I give you good ideas every once in a while for hooks for your campaign. I got a solo sorcery going on there, which is talking about solo gaming. And of course, all the news articles I put up there for the Evil DM and whatever I'm doing in my projects. Hopefully you've enjoyed the podcast so far. 99 cents to support me on YouTube. Become a member on Spotify for $1. You can go buymeacoffee.com/evildm if you want to make a one-time donation. I'm going to head out. Keep it original. Keep it old school. Good night. God bless, and talk to you later.